Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, and in this video we're going back to The Thing. I've just done a big breakdown of the 2011 prequel, and obviously I had to immediately put on the original because of how that film ends. Upon rewatching it, I noticed some details I'd never seen before, and hopefully this video makes you appreciate the movie even more. This centers around Charles and MacReady stuck in the snow with Outpost 31 on fire around them. Both are doomed to die, but the big question remains, is Charles the Thing? Now, there's been a ton of theories about how MacReady gave Charles kerosene or petrol to drink, and the thing not noticing this is what gives it away. Honestly, I've always just thought that's more of a popular theory, but there's not actually any basis for it in the film. None of the creative team have ever said that's the case, and there's actually a moment before the drink which debunks the entire thing. Just before Charles comes walking over, we can see MacReady pull the bottle out and almost go to drink it. At this point he had no idea that Charles was there, and I doubt man was sitting down to willingly drink petrol. So that's debunked, unless you guys think he wanted to drink petrol. And instead I think we should look at an earlier scene to see the subtext that Carpenter was giving us to telegraph the answer. In order to do this, let's go back to when we first met MacReady, as there's a lot of similarities to what happens at the end. In the scene, we catch him playing a game of chess against a computer, which he refers to as cheating bitch. This is because it pulls off an impossible move and uses this to win in order to beat him. The computer itself is a metaphor for the Thing, which cheats by imitating humans and pretending to be them. Now, what else is MacReady doing in this scene? Well, he's sat back, holding a drink, and we can see that this comes from a bottle of J&B. This is something he sips during the scene in which he talks about the torn clothing, drawing attention to it as he learns something new. It's also something that he ends up giving to Bennings after he's shot, and they're scrambling about to see what's going on. The bottle appears throughout the film, and on this watch through it's stuck out like a sore thumb. Now when we cut to the end and see what Charles is drinking, you can catch the exact same label on the bottle. This shows they're one and the same, and I think the beginning and end mirror each other to spell out the true meaning. MacReady ends up tipping the glass into the computer to break it, and symbolically this is him catching it out at a level it can't play at. This J&B appearing in the final scene also shows how MacReady is catching out the Thing. Just in the same way he gave it to the computer, he's now giving it to Charles as a way to determine the truth. It's something he has when he learns something about an opponent, and thus I think its usage signifies that. Now Charles and all the other people at the camp, they would be well aware about the rules around sharing food and drink. They'd know for a fact that you're not supposed to do it, as it is a way the Thing can spread and take over your body. The fact that Charles does it here shows he's clearly not worried, because if you're the Thing, then you can't catch the Thing. It's this clear disregard that gives away its position, and I believe it's why MacReady laughs when he takes a drink. He's caught him out in this game like he caught out the computer and can't be fooled by the cheating the Thing's carrying out. There's also the fact that Charles' attitude has changed and he's a lot calmer in this scene than what's come before. Going back through the film, I actually noticed lots of instances where the personalities of characters changed who will later reveal to be the Thing. For example, Blair has a breakdown, he smashes the outpost like it's the like button, destroying all the radios in ways they can get out. He's locked up in the hut outside, which the group later visit, but here he's far more withdrawn than what's come before. In this shot we can see a noose hanging up, potentially showing what the real Blair was planning to get up to. Instead, I think that he was taken over at some point, and the calmer version we see here is indeed the alien. Now if you don't agree with this, then I think you need to think about Blair and what he's acted like in the rest of the movie. Blair's someone who discovered how quickly the Thing could assimilate, and he even ran simulations to show how fast it would wipe out humanity. Here though, Blair is like,
I don't want to stay out here anymore, I want to come back inside.
Now I personally don't think Blair would want to go back to the group at all, as he'd be far more likely to be assimilated by the Thing. Instead I think he's the Thing at this point, and he knows going back to the group will give him opportunities. This will allow the Thing to then assimilate the rest, and he's trying to win MacReady's trust, so he lets him go back. Now another thing that has a big change is Palmer, who starts off as a loudmouth and hothead in the group.
Charles, chariots of the gods, man. They practically own South America.
However, we see Palmer get calmer and hide in the back of the group instead of drawing attention to himself. Keeping an eye on who the Thing was, I noticed it tended to go more for the outcast characters and hide in the background instead of being the bigger names. Norris, yeah, not really a confrontational or person that panics, he just hangs in the back completely out the way. Palmer's an outcast that isn't really trusted, and in the end, no one really wants to work with him.
Wondering when El Capitan was gonna get a chance to use his pop gun.
Shit, Doc, I'll give you the lift.
No problem.
Forget it, Palmer. Hey, thanks for thinking about it, though.
Blair gets sent out in the hut, and we also know it tried to imitate Fuchs. He also wasn't really one of the people who got involved in the arguments and was kind of a meek personality who could just hang out the way. The way Charles comes across here is different to how he's been, and to me seems far more docile and trusting of MacReady. Put yourself in this position though, would you accept the drink fully aware that this person could be contaminated? Now I wouldn't, and I get they probably know that they're gonna die, but yeah, I don't think I would be as trusting as he was. Again, like I said, if he knows he's the Thing though, then he wouldn't have this worry and would just go ahead with it. Now the theme for the creature also comes in at this point and spells out exactly why Charles is the Thing. Anyway, if you're enjoying the video, then please hit the thumbs up and actually do it this time, and don't forget to subscribe for breakdowns like this every week. Now, another big question over the film comes early on when trying to decipher who the first person was that the Thing assimilated. Whether intentional or not, I kinda love how the dog aggressively licks Benning's face when it believes it's gonna die, and this is a desperate attempt for it to quickly pass on its cells. We see it completely calm down once Lars has taken over though, and its attitude's different because it's no longer in danger. Now from this point we watch it walk about the base, and then strut into a room where we see a person's shadows turning round, which is the first character it imitates. Now this shadow doesn't actually belong to anyone in the cast, and Carpenter actually used an extra in order to create the effect. It's deliberately meant to look like either Norris or Palmer because this would make us confused about who it really was. As we know though, both of these become the Thing, but I think we can determine which one of these was first. That's because during the night of the dog attack, we see something with Palmer that does give it away. At about the 26-26 mark, he shares a joint with Charles, which would be enough to then infect him. Charles passes the blood test, whereas Palmer doesn't, showing that at this point he was at least still human. Now I also thought about how the snow closes in on the camp, and in many ways it's like how the Thing assimilates cells. The weather takes over and then covers the location, rendering it part of the environment now in which it's all consumed. Might be a reach, but just something I thought was symbolic and a nice idea that continues on the assimilation. Now all this talk about the ending made me look a little deeper into it and uncover all the ones that Carpenter originally had. There were several ideas, with one involving the dog surviving the explosion and looking at the destroyed camp before running off into the snow. Another that was filmed but was never shown to audiences had MacReady getting rescued and taken back to civilization. Yet he took a blood test with a mysterious government agent, seeming to say that he knew what the Thing was. There was also an ending where Charles and MacReady turn on each other and the pair fought to the death due to their paranoia. Ultimately this was scrapped in the favour of ambiguity, and I think the Thing's strongest aspect is its nihilistic ending. In the end, the movie's an incredible piece of film, and it's crazy to think it's over 40 years old. Goes to show just how good it is when we're still talking about it now and picking it apart all this time later. I really don't think there's that many movies now we'll be talking about in 40 years time, and yeah, just have fans out there like me just constantly discussing it. It shows the impact that this movie's really had. Now I really hope you enjoyed the thoughts I put across, and hopefully it makes you view the film in a brand new light. Please drop a like on the video, and if you want to support the channel as a member of the Spoiler Society, then please click the join button. You'll get early access to videos every week. We've also started doing audio versions, so you get that even before we've started the edit, and if you want to listen to it like a podcast, that's completely up to you. If you want to get some heavy spoilers merch, we've also got our t-shirt line located below the video, and this will let you pick up all kinds of tops like our Theory Time one, House of the Dragon stuff, Marvel tees, and a lot more. We drop new designs on there all the time, like the Let's Get Naughty one, so yeah, keep an eye out for them, and huge thank you if you bought one. Now if you want something else to watch, we've got a breakdown of the 2011 Thing on screen right now, so definitely head over there right after this. With that out of the way, huge thank you for sitting through the video. I've been Paul, I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.